it's Margaret. I'm going to try not to wobble this too much. I wanted to enjoy the evening and do a bit of a different video for you guys tonight. I was tagged by Caroline Matthews to do a music tag video, and I think Nick Hill's UK reseller started the tag, so go check out his video. He tagged Caroline and Adam Robinson, and Caroline did hers, and she tagged me, and she tagged Chris Scott, the Gordy reseller. So at the end, I will be tagging 2 people, but I hope you enjoy. These are the music tag questions. Let me take it away. And this was really hard. I was very surprised at how hard it was to come up with some of these answers, and then I keep changing them out because I'll think of something else. So I'm sure I'll record this and think, oh, I should have put something else. So first question was, what was the first gig you went to? And the first gig I went to, I was about 15, and I went to see the Dead Milkmen play, and a Sprawl opened up for them. So it was very bizarre, but it was really fun. I've seen the Dead Milkmen, or they don't play anymore, but back then I've seen them play like 3 or 4 times. They always put on such a fun show, you know, and their songs are always funny, silly, peppy. So that was my first show, was the Dead Milkmen. And then what was my favorite gig, my favorite show that I went to, was Susie and the Banshees played with the Thrill Kill Cult. And I must have been 16 or 17 for that one. And it was so good. It was, you know, right around the time that Thrill Kill Cult put out the song Sex on Wheels. And I don't know, it was just a really fun show. Actually, it was either the guitarist or bassist for Susie and the Banshees ended up breaking his ankle at that show, because there was between the stage and the crowd, there was this gap, I guess, like barricade thing. And he was rocking out, and his foot got caught, and I guess he just broke it right there. And so, you know, the show got cut short, but it was really good. It was a good show. Okay, and then the next question is, what was the first single you owned? And what was the first single you bought with your own money? So, the first single I owned, it's a toss-up between 2. And one Christmas, I guess my grandmother had it with us not understanding music or something, or maybe she didn't know. Maybe she thought it was time for us to get hip with the popular culture. But she bought me some albums, and 2 of those, well, 3. One of them was Olivia Newton-John's Let's Get Physical. Another was, Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney's Say, Say, Say. The third was Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' I Love Rock and Roll. So those were the 3. I think she just went to the record store and just said, you know, give me a cross section of everything, because it was for Christmas and we got all these albums and it was just different. You know, I don't think she knew who half of them were. So those were the 3 that stood out for me, the first ones that I had. And actually, of those, I think the only one that was actually a single was Say, Say, Say. But the others were the albums. But they just came to mind. So, and the first one that I bought with my own money was Love and Rockets. What's the name of that song? Don't know what color your eyes are, baby, but your hair. You know the song. So that one, sorry for singing at you. But that was the first one that I remember buying with my own money. It may have been something else, but that's the first one I can remember. Anyway, so first album you owned, and what was the first album you bought with your own money? Okay, so first album I owned, again, I put down here the one that my grandmother got me, Olivia Newton-John's Let's Get Physical, and also Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' I Love Rock and Roll. So that was an amazing album right there. And then the first one I remember buying with my own money was The Cure's Standing on the Beach. That's an amazing album right there. So next up, we're losing light, so you're going to get the glow of the sunset was really pretty, so I thought I'd come out. But so number 4, the 4th question is, who are your top 3 favorite music artists or bands of all time? And I tried to take a cross section as much as I could, because it changes over, you know, you grow, you learn, you change, you know, your tastes change. Some things stay the same, but then you learn about new things and get new favorites. So my top 3, number 1 is The Clash. I can listen to them all day, every day. I never get tired of listening to The Clash. The next one is The Smiths, which is also, it was one of my go-to in high school. I can't tell you how much Smiths and Morrissey I listened to. I think I will be 99. I could have not heard a single Smiths or Morrissey song for 20 years. And I'll bet when I'm in the nursing home at 99, they put on some Smiths, I could sing it because it's ingrained in my brain. So I love the Smiths and Morrissey. And then the third, I chose two because they're sort of the same genre-ish, which are Louis Prima and Louis Jordan. And their swing, and I mean, when I heard, the first time I heard swing music, I was just like, what is that? I need to know what that is, and I need to know everybody who is, swing. I need to know everybody who's, jazz, that type of jazz, and I just devoured it. So Louis Jordan, Louis Prima, amazing, amazing songwriters, musicians, and they're just feel good. I love them. Okay, number 5, what was the first artist or band that got you excited about music? And this one I put the Sex Pistols. And the reason, I got a munchkin peeking out the hi. The reason I chose the Sex Pistols was because, as I mentioned before, I was so sheltered growing up. And especially with music, I didn't realize there was more than one channel to the radio. That's just how bad it was. My mom played one channel. It was like the oldies, like easy listening type channel. And I think the Beatles was as rock as it got on there. But once I heard the Sex Pistols, it was like mind altering for me because I didn't know that existed. I didn't know there was, and at the time, this was in the 80s, there was nothing like it. I never heard anything like it, and it sounded so hard. And nowadays it doesn't sound so hard, but then it was a really big deal. So Sex Pistols was the first artist or band that got me excited that there was something else out there, and that was my jumping off point. First starting to explore other types of music. So I'm losing the light quickly. But we're going to soldier on. Okay, here we go. So top 5 albums. One is Sinead O'Connor. I am a Sinead O'Connor lover. I'm not ashamed to admit it. But my favorite of hers is A Lion and the Cobra. The song Troy was just one of my favorites. So that was one. The next one is the Smiths, and it was hard to choose between all of them, but I really like Louder Than Bombs. It's got just tons of amazing songs Sheila Take a Bow and Panic and songs like that are really, they just, I guess in high school, those were the songs that just spoke to me and were like the soundtrack of my life. You know what I mean? They just, different things going on in my life. You know how it is with songs. When you have a song that is very instrumental, or when you have a song during different times of your life, they just forever will be reminders of things. I think you hear what I'm saying. I feel like I'm not articulating that very well. But yeah, so those are 2. The next one I started listening to more in college, and that's the X-Ray Specs. And X-Ray Specs album Germ Free Adolescence is amazing. I mean, that song is Germ Free Adolescence, the name of the song from the album, is an amazing song. And that's another group that I felt like really opened my eyes to different kinds of, more like punk music. I like punk, but Germ Free Adolescence, X-Ray Specs was, I don't know, on another level for me. It just spoke to me. I like it. So it's one of those that gets in you, you know what I mean? You have those bands, those albums, those songs that just like get in you and just feed something in you. And that was, that one for sure did. The next one is a bit more current, and it's actually a cover type band. It's a French band called Nouvelle Vague, and they do cover songs of like Blondie and the Cramps and Bauhaus, Echo and the Bunnymen. And one of their albums is called A Band Apart, and that's the one I chose as for one of my top 5 albums, because it's one that I can listen to over and over again. This, French band doing covers, but they're not covers like the artists do them. They're totally changed up, and they're really good. And so that's another one. And then last, I chose Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, because that's another one that's just sort of timeless for me. I love Johnny Cash, and I could listen to that one a lot. And then, so the next question is, Which artist or band is your musical guilty pleasure? And it has to be by far Hall & Oates. It's not even that guilty, I'll tell you. I love it. So Maneater and You Making My Dreams. I mean, I could sing You Making My Dreams all day long and drive my family crazy. But when that song, it's one of those, when that song comes on, I just can't help it. I have to stop and dance, you know. You making my dreams come true. Sorry. Okay, next. So top 5 favorite songs of all time. Okay, I did write these ones down. So the 5th, well, I don't know, they're not really in order. So The Clash, Train in Vain is tied with Straight to Hell. Those 2 songs by The Clash I really like a lot. And then the Smiths, I like Panic a lot, but then I also really like Last of the Famous International Playboys. That song's about the Cray twins, the British mobsters. I like that song a lot. And then the next one is Chet Baker's version of My Funny Valentine, which is just another one of those songs that just gets in you, you know, like for me, it just makes my spine tingle every time I hear it. I love it. And his voice is so haunting. You know, he doesn't sing in a lot of the songs that he does, but My Funny Valentine, when he sings that, just, I get chills, you know. And I don't know if it's because, you know, his story was so tragic or, you know, I don't even know, but yeah. And then next is Louis Jordan's Ain't Nobody Here But Us Chickens. That's another one that when I used to dance, I think you guys, I've mentioned it before. I used to teach swing dance. I used to swing dance a lot when that was going on, and that was one of my favorite songs to dance to. Ain't Nobody Here But Us Chickens. And it's another just feel good fun song. And then Sinead O'Connor's, there was 2 again. The Emperor's New Clothes is one of her songs that I really like, and also Troy that she did. Those 2 are songs that just were at, you know, the right time, the right moment in your life that were very special to me. And then number 9, favorite lyrics from a song. And this one, I'm not even sure I can speak them. And they're not even that poignant when you read them or sing them, but it's Dolly Parton's Hard Candy Christmas. And I'm not even sure I can say the lines without tearing up because it just, I don't know. So it starts off, hey, maybe I'll dye my hair. Maybe I'll move somewhere. Maybe I'll get a car. Maybe I'll drive so far that they'll all lose track. Me, I'll bounce right back. So anyway, it goes on, and I'm sorry I sang it, but it's all about, you know, going through hard times and making it, you know, getting through it, bouncing back, and, you know, trying to find a way to shake it off and move forward. But it's actually from Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, which is not, you know, you would normally think of that as having poignant songs, but her version, or her singing Hard Candy Christmas, is just, I love it. It goes on, but right. And then the artist or band that I think is underrated and I would recommend people listen to. I did not prepare an answer for this one, but I know a lot of, I know Sinead O'Connor is like the butt of many jokes, but her music is really poignant and it's really touching. And I think that not as many people appreciate her as an artist, because like her persona, herself as a, you know, celebrity, and her behavior and things that have happened, I think overshadow some of her music, and people sometimes don't see past that. And I mean, I guess later, you know, more has come out about, you know, depression and things of that nature that were not as available. So I think maybe it's a time that, you know, she gets a second look. So anyway, my suggestion there is Sinead O'Connor. So anyway, those are my tags, and I get to tag 2 people, and so I am tagging, and I hope he'll do it because he doesn't normally do these kind of videos. Jason T. Smith, because I know he's a music lover big time. So I'm tagging Jason, and then I'm also going to tag Zaheer, Malik, and Rebecca. Maybe they'll do theirs together. I don't know. But Zaheer and Rebecca and Jason T. Smith, you are tagged, and I'll send you the questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments section below what is your favorite band song, because I'd love to find out. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Bye.